business cards, but y'all can just like, use email because you'll find me easily, right? All right, so this is a sharing goal. We've been sharing all day, pretty much. Do y'all agree? Like, that's the whole long-term goal here. So pretty much what I'd love is to know where each of you are from and who you are. So Lyle's going to start because he's drinking tea. Lyle, go ahead.
Lyle O'Neill, and I'm at the Kingwood campus.
Thank you.
Gwen Bastine at Corequisite Center.
How are y'all? I'm Daniel O'Donnell. I'm at University Park.
Amanda Goodwin at Cypher.
Thank you.
Julie Kendall, Cypher.
Paul Soto, North Harris. Andy North Harris.
Thank you.
Henry Barron, North Harris.
David Kalalsinani, UP.
Martha Donald, UP.
Isabella Fisher, UP.
UP. Okay, perfect. Thank y'all so much. So we have some Kingwood, Tuscaloosa, a center, right? And some of the main campuses represented, so that's pretty cool. All right, so do you know your Myers-Briggs personality? Do you know it? You don't have to take a full-fledged test. What I'd like you to do, okay, is, and it's a fast one, believe me, because everybody always asks me, well, what's your Myers-Briggs? And I'm like, I don't know. So I asked the counselor, and she's like, you're this. And I'm like, okay, I'll go with that. So go to coleev.com, and then it's my first and last name, 993. And you can do this from your phone or from a computer. If you choose to. It's not a mandatory thing, I promise. So once you're there,
Oh, no, go back.
Go back.
oh, I'm sorry, sorry. You're like, you're too fast. I apologize, I apologize. I need a whiteboard, right? I should put it over there. Yes, sorry. And I changed it. It was like 637 or something, and I liked the 993, so I changed it to that. Does everybody have that?
Yes.
So I have to activate it. So I just wanted to kind of, I guess the easiest way to say this is to allow you to have some, oh, please work. Okay, there we go. Interaction. So I've activated it, and you should hopefully see it, right? So I can actually make this bigger in case you are trying to look at your small little screen, right? So the main reason I'm doing this, and while y'all are looking at this, you can just randomly, and by the way, you pick with your finger tip, pick your color, your personality. The reason I'm doing this is not to do anything other than we are all completely different personalities. That's the whole key here. And so when we are doing what we do, when we teach, when we interact with our students, when we compare what we're doing, we're each going to do something ever so slightly different. So that's the key. So I've been told I am an ISTJ. And we have time. Does anybody need me to make that bigger? If I can make it.
When I click on one thing, then I don't know how to go to the next thing.
Oh, you're not really going anywhere.
Well, I'm just looking.
You're just clicking.
Well, yeah.
Choose your, so you've done it. Yeah, you've done it. You're done.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. They take 4 of them.
No, you're one thing.
Oh, inside the whole thing.
Yeah, so like you choose which one you are. So like if this is you, that's what you would choose. So are you an extrovert or an introvert, y'all? Right? Do you sense things or are you intuition? Do you think or do you feel? In general, okay? And we bring this to our classes, and we bring this to wherever we go in how we interact with others and all these fun things that we experience. So I'm going to do, hopefully, it works. What's wrong?
I'm not the only one of my type.
That's a bonus.
I'm watching the percentages change.
Yeah, and they're gonna change. Just kind of based on what everybody's putting in there. And you can even change it. Like if you this is not me. This is just not me. And you can like clear it and be like, no, I decided to change from it. So I just thought it was a really cool little, have y'all ever heard of doing an icebreaker in your classes? Okay? Icebreakers are sometimes really good, sometimes really bad. Okay? I just wanted you to understand from my perspective of things, we're all going to see things differently. Sometimes we'll see things the same, sometimes we won't, and it's all fine. Okay? All right. Is everybody, oh, look at the coolness there. I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna deactivate it. So you should not be able to vote anymore. Okay, so we're pretty much cool. There we are. We are a variety of different personalities, and I love it. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna get rid of him so I don't forget what I'm doing. So we're going to go. So the goal of this presentation is to share with each other what we're doing. And if you've been to any of the presentations so far, which I know I've seen many of you, and some of you actually presented, we are doing so many different things, but it's so cool. And that's the whole point of this one, is just to find out what we're doing. So this is a friendly sharing activity, okay? That's what I want, all right? And I hope that's what you're wanting as well. So on the paper, the thing that I submitted, it said it wanted you to bring syllabi, copies of your syllabi. I don't know if y'all got that message. And it's okay if you didn't. I have copies of mine to share. But you don't have to have them. As long as you have a piece of paper and a pencil, you know your syllabus, right? Okay? If you want to take a look at mine, I am sharing like nobody's business. Okay? So I taught, and I'm going to get to that in a second. The key I want us to do is the positives are great. Take them with you and share them. And if there's negatives, just make it 2, and you got a positive. Okay? There's no fear, there's no judgment. It's just share what you've learned and you continue to learn. Because if you're like me, what I've done in the fall and what I'm doing right now is going to be completely tweaked by the time it comes to fall of 2019. Now, I'm not teaching a co-rec in the summer, so I don't know if that's a positive or if that's a negative. So you ready for our little quiz? Yes? Sure. Let's take a quiz, y'all. Go to menti.com. You already used Menti earlier today. Okay? So menti.com. And if you were in one of the math presentations over lunch, we actually used menti.com in there. Everybody got it?
One moment.
menti.com. I'm going to give you the code in just a second, okay? And it's gonna show up here, so it's all good. Yes.
There it is.
All right.
Please enter the code.
So here's your code. It's at the top. 1947 and 7. 4, 7. Yes. Ready?
Yes.
All right, so I found this on menti.com. I did not make this up, and I love it. It's hilarious, I'm sorry. All right, ready? Here we go. Okay. Remember this. No means yes. Yes means no.
Oh, no.
What?
The rules are simple. Answer incorrectly. You ready? You
Okay.
can do it. Here it goes. And it's timed. So here you are. You see, y'all? There you are. Look at you. Everybody ready? I'm going to hit the question. Everybody in? 19477. I'm waiting for everybody.
Do we tap our iPhone?
No, don't do anything. I'm just kind of waiting for everybody. You're fine. I just want to make sure everybody can participate. Y'all haven't gotten to do any math today. Do you agree?
Yes.
It's sad that you haven't gotten to do any math. And so I'm sympathetic to your plight. Okay? By the way, I'm the dragon.
It says
Okay.
your name, do we not enter our name?
You don't have to enter a name. You can just leave it as it is. Okay? It's entirely up to you.
We're supposed to answer it correctly.
You are. Ready? Here comes question 1. And the faster you enter, the more points you get. Is another word for yes, no?
No. Wait.
So what's the right answer? Yes. Because you're supposed to answer the opposite of the correct answer. You're supposed to answer incorrect. Oh, dang it.
When I said no, I thought I was answering it correctly.
It's all good. You ready? Here's another one. So the leaderboard is going to show you. So, see my name. I put my name out there for y'all. Ooh, somebody's doing good. Sweet. Have you ever used this in your classes? It's a really interactive little thing. They love the little pictures of themselves. Here's question 2. Don't let your phones go to sleep. All of your students practice math problems. All of your students practice math problems. Now, we would like this to be yes, but we know it's not. Now, some of you might be like, yes, all of my students practice math. Right? But do they? No. See, you're supposed to answer, yes, they do. Oh, this is fun. All right, leaderboard. So, and as you go, as you get these questions, the students will change. Okay? All right, here we go. So remember I told you there's going to be some math, right? Is math your worst subject? Remember how you're supposed to answer. Is math your worst subject? Yes. Yes, it is. Because you're supposed to answer the exact opposite of which is true. Oh, dang it. So imagine doing this to your students, right? Just kind of making it a fun type thing. All right, I promise there's a math question. Here it is. Is 2 plus 3 equal to 5? I'm sorry, but I love this, right? No, it's not. No, it's not. But it is, right? And so think about all, like, some of the concepts you could throw in for your students, and then you can have that conversation with them and they're interacting. You know they want to play on their phones, right, y'all? They want to have that phone activity. And believe me, I was of the nature like phones, nowhere near them. But if you delegate it to a certain time and you say, hey, it's okay to do it here, that's the key, okay? All right. They're math questions. Is the graph of a quadratic function a line? Remember how you're supposed to answer? Supposed to answer now? Supposed to answer? Yes, of course it's a line, right? And have you ever had a student graph a quadratic that's a line? Yes. Like how many times do you stress, is a quadratic a line? No, it's a U, and they tell you every time it's a U, right? And then when they get the test, what do? They draw a line.
They plot 2 points.
And they draw a line. Gorgeous line, even though they know. And see, think about this. This would be something that would cement in their head, I hope, right? And they can be like, oh, I remember. I did that so wrong. And all right. Sweet. All right, ready? I think this is our last one. You must know college algebra to do calculus.
Oh my goodness.
Remember how you're supposed to answer. Is this hard to answer
Yes,
no
yes,
when you
going
want to
against-
answer
You're going
yes?
against truth.
You're going against what you believe. And what do your students inevitably do though? They go against everything you taught them, and then the minute they get that test, they're like, all right, so who wants to see the winner? Like, most people are like, and think about your students, right? You're like, oh my gosh, am I the winner?
No. Money on the road. You gotta scroll down and see mine. It said that.
Oh, very nice. Ooh, who's G? What? Very nice. Cool. So you get this whole, see that? I mean, I just love that.
Thank you.
Isn't that the cutest thing? And this one is actually, Menti did this one. It's made for you. You can go in and change the questions. And so what I did is I went in and I changed the questions. Because normally on Menti, there's a certain number of questions you can ask without paying for it. So I found a loophole. So I just wanted to share that with y'all if you've ever wanted to do something a little more active.
You can use theirs and not have to pay.
And it has more questions. In fact, this one originally had like 12 questions, and normally it's a lot less when it comes to Menti.
Are they always all yes or no questions?
No,
Or you
they can do multiple
choice?
choice. And in fact, there's other options we're going to do because I actually have another one.
So it's similar to Kahoot. This-
It is similar to Kahoot. Yes. I need to go back. Why does it not want me to go back? Oh, I need to see. Here it is. Okay, so back to our goals here. So we've done this. Okay, so I just wanted to really quickly share with you my journey, as I like to call it, if you haven't heard me. I love to call this a journey, okay, because it is a journey. If you think about how long did it take us to get developmental math set to the way it was, right? It took us a while to get where we thought it was a really good thing. So it's going to take us longer than a year to get co-reps, right? And I honestly, some people are like, I really want the legislature to change it and go back to the way it was. I don't know if I want that. I want the time to see if we can get this to what we want it to be, and I think we can. I think it can actually be a really good thing. So I just wanted to share real quick what I did. So for fall, I was asked to do both the co-rep for college algebra and the co-rep for finite. And my co-rep for finite actually made in the fall. The Reason I put that up there is just kind of show you how we're doing it at Kingwood. I wanted the co-rec to meet the day before the credit level course met. I've heard some that are doing it right before the credit level, which sounds really cool. I don't know that I would like that or not, because I don't know if I remember I loved math, and I could go do math for like 5-6 hours and I'd be fine. So I don't know how students feel. I mean, I think they're good. At least I hope so. So when I started in the fall, I had to figure out what am I going to use. Am I going to use one book and one technology for both courses? How am I going to calculate the grade? For the co-rec, the number of assignments that I'm going to do, lecture, evaluation, what am I going to do? Like everybody was trying to figure out what we were going to do. And so it went okay. Let's just say it didn't go very well. But then in spring, I kind of found out, you know what, I need to change some things. So I did. And I actually looked at how we are labeling our co-recs. And we are labeling our co-recs as labs. So I'm treating it like a lab. Okay, so if you think of a lab, what do you think of? Chemistry? Biology? Exactly, hands-on practice. I am not going to stand up there and lecture to them unless it's something that they really need. So what I've done is I've flipped it. And they see the content before they come see me. And I'm using a notebook to do that, a video notebook. And I gave way too many assignments last time, so I've narrowed down the number of assignments. And instead of saying attendance and participation, because students thought they could just sit and they're there, I said not only do you have to sit, but you also have to participate. And I've actually included tutoring as part of their grade for that. I don't do it each day because that's too much for me to keep up with. And plus our students are overwhelmed already with all the other stuff they're having to do. So I base attendance with participation and tutoring over 2 weeks. And so that they can then take that time and get the time that they need from tutoring and not be stressed about getting it in with the kids and everything else. My 0324 was canceled due to low enrollment this semester, but I do have one slated for the fall for an online class, which I'm hoping makes. So we'll see how it goes.
This thing doesn't like me.
So just a little on what I use, and this is my preference, and strictly my preference. I use a book called College Algebra with Intermediate Algebra. It's a blended course. It's the first of its kind. It has both pre-algebra, introductory algebra, intermediate algebra, and college algebra content in it. And I use my MATLAB, just like I said. Has a video notebook, videos, practice exercises, and PowerPoint presentations, all the good things that you need and that students appreciate, which, again, my preference. Each of us has a great preference and option, so that's the key. For fall 2019, I think it's working pretty good right now, so I might tweak just a little bit how I monitor what they're doing, because I think I could be a little bit better monitor on making sure that they're doing what they need to be doing. Like most of us has already said, it's hard to get them to do the work. And so I think if I'm a little more in their face about it, it might help. We'll see. Let's just say for the 0324 last semester, it was not necessarily a good result, but I think it was because I didn't really have developmental content for a finite math book. If you've taught finite math, who's taught finite, or as we like to call it, business math now, right? It's one of my favorites. Is it one of y'all's favorites? Like, I love business math and I love business calc. It's so practical, so hands-on, so like yes. So when you do a developmental class, it needs to get that word problem content in from the very beginning. So don't solve a linear equation. Give them something that's modeling a linear equation with words, and and gets them in there and gets them in those words before they see linear programming problems that are a paragraph long, right? And there really wasn't anything. So I tried to use the credit level book. Let's just say I had to provide a lot of supplements for it because the credit level book was very high level in terms of its developmental level content. And so what I want to do is, as several of you have already said, you're going to pilot something for the fall. So I'm planning on piloting a new option that's coming out. It's called My Lab Math. It's a modular content-based. So it doesn't really have a book. It can go with any book, which is, I'm really excited. I'm going to give it a try and hope for the best. I don't know if it's going to work. I've already talked to some others about maybe trying Alex. I don't know. My plan is for the next probably 2 to 3 years, I'm just going to try things and see, and I think I'll find something that's going to work. And it just might take what I'm using and tweaking it a little bit. So I will be teaching in the fall. I have a lovely thing called Bank Leave for spring 2020. And so I will be leaving it to y'all that semester, and I'll be back for the summer. But that's my my long-term plan for fall, is to give that stuff a try. So what I would like you to do is, just for the remaining time here, we're going to just have, because it's such a small group, we can talk 2 to 3 of you together just for a short little time to just kind of see what are we each doing, or what we can do if you want is maybe 2 minutes we can just kind of go around to each of you and just kind of see what we're all doing. Are we all doing something different? Probably, right? So you've seen my syllabus. So what I want you to do is think about certain things, and you've already probably heard them. What has worked for you? Could it help another faculty member? That's the goal, right? If something's worked for you, please share it. I love it, okay? I've heard several things already since I've been here today that I'm like, I need to go try that, okay? What book or technology are you using, and why are you using it? Jot down, discuss similarities as they relate to your grade calculation in the co-rec course, the number of assignments in the course. So that was one thing for me that was really hard. I thought I was going to treat that co-rec course like I was treating the credit level course, and I gave them the same amount of assignments. Now granted, I didn't give them tests, but at Kingwood, we're doing a diagnostic exam at the end of the semester. Okay, and I have not heard one college that's doing that. We're doing it.
Only because
You're with me. You're doing, so at the end, we are doing a diagnostic exam in the co-rec course.
Tombo does.
Is Tombo doing
They
it?
do a pre-test and a post-test.
Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. Because I'm like, I haven't heard anybody else. I've heard Montgomery. I don't believe they're doing any kind of testing really. But I've heard some really cool things, like they're doing quizzes in the college algebra, but that quiz in the college algebra, I think that was y'all's presentation, right? The college algebra grade, that quiz is actually the grade that they make in the co-rec too. So I thought they count double, I guess is the best way.
Every quiz in college algebra?
It depends on the instructor.
Right, right. Oh yeah, and this is the thing, y'all. Not everybody's doing the same. We're all different. That's the key. So we can't say everybody's doing this and everybody's doing that. So each one of us is trying things, and that's the whole key. So do the same for the differences as they relate to the above. And then we're going to share some stuff on Minty, okay? So if you want to, just kind of think about some things from maybe even from what you do, from what you've seen that I do, or even just like something you want to just share. What are you doing that you think could help somebody else? And we don't even have to talk about the differences if you don't want to. It's fine. We know there's differences. We've heard them, right? So let me see here. So we're back to the Minty, okay? So on this one, you go to minty.com, And the code is 123263.
We're already there, already. Can I join another page?
Yes, that's what you do.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I did it like this, so we do it, so we do the polar, we're already done, then the minty, and then we're done. I actually, like, I get nervous. Do y'all get nervous?
Every time.
Especially with your colleagues, right? So, one of my favorite images is this one. It's just a great, like, what you think, what's on your mind. So, as you know, Kingwood, we kind of flooded a little bit, right? So,
Just a little.
just a little.
Hello.
We're back on campus this semester. We're doing great, right? And it's been an experience. The thing I've experienced the most is that change is okay. And so when you do this, you're literally, when you do this, so you gotta pick it, right? You're gonna have to scroll down, and at the very bottom, it's gonna say submit. So you have to pick how you feel.
What's the first question? What is it?
Oh, how do you feel developmental math prepared student? What is that?
How well did it prepare students?
Oh, so like our previous developmental math classes. How do you feel it prepared our students? Did it prepare them well? Did it prepare them pretty good, or did it prepare them not so good? I'm sorry. To put too many words, they say it's just not a good thing, because too many words. But you're right, I probably
We
should
don't know
have worded
about
that a
it,
little
or-
bit. What's that? I'm
I
sorry?
don't know.
No. Developmental math as it was before. Do you feel
Yes,
that it prepared them pretty good
but
or
I'm,
not so good?
yeah, but I'm talking about the next, this,
Oh, the next one. How do you feel about co-requisite math courses?
I don't know.
No feeling at all? You're neutral?
Well, I haven't taught the class about
Oh, you
that.
haven't? Oh, you lucky. Sorry, I didn't say lucky.
So I'm hoping.
You can
there-
skip it. There's a skip button.
Okay.
So how do you feel about your implementation of co-recs? So for me, I'm like a 2, because I know I still need to kind of change some things. How do I feel after today? I feel pretty good, because we've been allowed to share our information, and I think I've gotten some information that I can actually use. So one of the nice things I love this is that it actually shows you the average and a normal curve. I love it. So a little more math. Okay. So we're all feeling pretty good, right? Better than average, I'd say. Y'all agree? So the high is a 5. I'm sorry, I think it's exact backwards. 1 was a high, right? 5 was a low. Or 5 was a high?
I was good.
Okay, perfect. So 5 is a high. Oh yeah, that's right. Pretty good. Thank you. And then the low option. So we all know there's still some work that needs to be done, I guess is the key, right? And so I think as we keep going in our semesters, it'll get better. And so you've got your players, right? So we're all in there. So I'm a penguin this time, y'all.
Oh, I like the koala.
Oh my, who's the donut? I love it. And let me tell y'all something. See how y'all are kind of laughing about this? And you're like, oh, that's kind of cute. Think about your students. I mean, they love this. It's partly, I think, because they get to use their phone. Everybody in that wants to play?
Not yet.
Okay, tell me. I love how this is purple. share your thoughts on one of the next slides. Remember how you're like, oh, is it just all quizzes? You're like, what is this? There's a free response option in these as well. So that's the cool part of this. So I'm going to start it. Here it goes. So remember, it's all about answering fast, but make sure you don't answer too fast. My teaching tools are better than yours. True, false, or you see the other one? So remember our personalities from the very beginning?
Yes.
This comes into play, though. So I am a maybe, but that's okay. Some are like, heck no. You know, no, right? My teaching tools are better than yours. No, I'm still learning. Or heck yes, they are better, and yeah, that's just the way it is. Sorry. So that's the whole key. You can't be, and I don't show like the results on that. Did y'all notice that? I didn't show any results. So what are some similar characteristics of your syllabi after all the things you've heard today, like in regards to how you're evaluating? Okay, this is a free response. So on your phone, you'll see a little box. Okay, do y'all see it? I'm hoping you see it.
Yes.
So it's a little box here. Oh, here you go. And you input an answer in there. Okay, and then you hit submit. And if there's more than one thing that you see is similar, okay, you can input more. So for me, one thing that was similar is that a lot of us do quizzes, right, in the co-rec. It's a predominant thing I've heard. So instead of testing, what do? We do quizzes, okay? Now my question to y'all is, when you do quizzes, is it on the technology, or is it like they're sitting in class doing a quiz? It's sitting in class doing a quiz. It's on the technology.
I do a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. See, and I need to hear these things. So for me, if you're using technology, what I found in all my previous years of teaching the technology, especially when I would do practice tests or something like that, they could make like 100 on my practice test, and then they take my test and they make like a 30. So what's going on? What are they doing? Well, you know what they're doing. They're cheating, right? They're going to a website and they're finding the answer. So what I've found I've been able to do is I do what's called a pooling option. And it's in my lab math. I do it for both my quizzes and my tests. And so I am okay with letting them take their quizzes on my lab math for the grade. Yes, ma'am.
I also set a time constraint that means that they don't have time to go look. And the students always complain about it after the first quiz or two. And I point out to them that my math lab tells me exactly how long tens of thousands of students spend doing this question. I add those up and add 50%.
Yep, that's exactly what I do too. Yeah,
And
and
so I tell them up front why, and I say, and there's a time limit because that way you can't look in your book, call a friend, go to the
do all
internet,
bad things.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
How many attempts do you allow them
On a quiz?
on a quiz? Just one.
But my online quiz wasn't driven by the co-rec. I had shifted to that before.
Okay.
And it was driven more by ABA
Okay.
issues.
I ask because I always inevitably have that student that says, oh, my computer crashed. And so I have a built-in, like 3 attempts for a quiz. But it's more of a saver for me. They enjoy the fact that they have 3 attempts. I take the highest. And so it allows for that, problem, like if something happens, if one of their children comes and talks to them or something, and then the quiz is like timed out or something like that.
I just tell them the quizzes are timed because the tests are timed, and they have to learn how to take a test.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and my quizzes are timed too. Yeah, and so it's like you have to be, there's some accountability. There has to be some accountability. So definitely. So, I love it. Yay! See, and so this is something, think about this, you could have this. So how many of your students sometimes don't like to ask questions? You can see it in their faces that they have this question, right? Think about this, right? So you've covered the content, you can see that they have questions. What if you let them ask questions via this? Think about that. They could literally ask a question using this, y'all. And it's not associated to them. It is literally something you can use and have the students use this as a question option. So, nice. All right. So let me pause this. So there's that. I'm going to go to question 2. Are y'all ready? Don't worry, you're going to see the end result. So, we are going to have differences. Is that okay? I hope you say, and my little fingers going right over the answer. Thank you. And the maybe's a definite too, y'all, right? So the one thing I've learned, see, as a system, I thought we were all doing the same thing. Did anybody else think that? Or am I just the one that thought that? And why did I think that we were all doing the same thing? Our students are all completely different. We are all completely different. We're in a completely different location, completely different college, dynamic, everything. And so I love the fact that we have the ability to each kind of do our own thing on our own campus and even individually to try to figure out how to get this to work. Okay? So I hope you appreciate that. And everybody always wants to see the winner, right? Even though you're like, there's no winner. All right. Who's that? Who's Andrew?
Nice, congratulations.
I got second.
Very nice.
Sorry.
I got it.
When you have to answer questions correctly, you do much better
So
than incorrect.
I just want to show you this last option here. This is another option. This, you can actually make this available throughout the whole Minty process. So like if you're lecturing, right, you can have this available and at any time students could populate questions as you're lecturing. And you don't even have to project it. It can be on your computer, your instructor computer. And you can see them, and as you see them, you can feel them. Does anybody have any questions? I hope y'all have enjoyed this. I wanted it, because it was the end of the day, I wanted it to be a little more interactive. Because I knew you were going to be tired, and I don't see anybody drinking coffee. So, if anyone has any questions, let me tell you one thing before I close, because I do want to go back to my PowerPoint real fast. Okay? I think I have like, what, maybe 3 minutes or so?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, let me just close real fast. We did all this. So, have you heard of mindset? Yes? So, I actually just started using mindset in my my math classes. Instead of doing like EDUC content, meaning study skills, their students are already seeing study skills. They're seeing study skills in their EDUC class, they're seeing it in their English classes, they're seeing it in all the places. And so for me, I would rather just throw something out there, just change your mindset. Inevitably, how many of them say they can't do math? Right? You've got to change that mindset. So, I actually have, I just wanted to show you, these are the books if you've never seen them or if you want to kind of take a look at it. I'm actually reading this one. It's Mathematical Mindsets. It's a really cool book. You would think, it's got pictures of kids on it, but I've read the first 2 chapters and it's like, yes, that's my students. So, I think that's, so in closing, 2 things. You ready? Remember, we love math right now. This whole thing, we don't teach math for a living, we do it because it's fun. Remember. Okay, so in all this co-rec stuff, right, it's okay. Have a great weekend. If you have any questions, please come up and ask me. Otherwise, have a great one. And be careful on the drive.